Fuad here, back on Behind the Gloves with another video, and this time we're going to have a little preview and insight talk onto the big heavyweight showdown that is taking place at the Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York, between Deontay Wilder and Dominic Breazeale for the WBC heavyweight world title. Now, before we get into the actual fight preview, obviously you guys know the comments that Deontay Wilder has been throwing out regarding Dominic Breazeale, his opponent, and he said it in the past before, the funeral arrangements. I'm sure you guys seen the interview when I've asked others about that, and obviously him coming out and saying this is the only sport that you're legally allowed to kill in, so why not make the most of it, talking about hospitalizing him in certain ways, which in my opinion has been absolutely disgraceful to come from a WBC heavyweight world champion. I mean, not only are you a champion, not only are you a WBC champion, but you are a heavyweight world champion, the creme de la creme of the sport, the probably the part that people watch the most, the casuals watch the most, heavyweights. And as an upcoming competitor myself, it was a real shame to hear them words come out of Deontay Wilder's mouth. People say, this is confidence, this is mind game, mindset, which gets him through. Mindset you can have in many ways. You can want to outclass, destroy your opponent, but when you're specifically saying you want to kill them, that's a complete shambles. Kids are watching on, and that I'm sure if you have kids, that's not what you want your kid to be hearing. Whether that motivates them to go on and do such things, or whether it scares them away from the sport they love. But hopefully he'll come around to understanding where he's wrong. But let's have a look into the actual fight itself. See, there's two ways to look at this fight. We talk about Deontay Wilder's power and mentality. I think that's what gets him through most of his fights, because in all due respect, his boxing skill isn't the highest level. It's nothing compared to a lot of the best heavyweights, and in my opinion, it's not compared to a lot of the American heavyweights. I don't think he's the best technically skilled heavyweight in America. I just believe that his power and his mental fortitude and strength gets him through a lot. For example, like probably one of his toughest tests to date, when he got rocked by Luis Ortiz, but held in there and really showed his warrior's mentality, but then went out and really used his power against Ortiz. So this could be the game changer. If Dominic Breazeale comes in anywhere with a dink in his mind that he cannot achieve success in this fight, then that will be a real problem for him. I know it's simple to say, but when it's against someone like Deontay Wilder, you really need to come in 110% mentally, rather than not just physically, I should say. And that will be the biggest factor in Wilder's side. Whereas I think Dominic Breazeale is being very underlooked. I spoke about this earlier today. Dominic Breazeale is one of those fighters where you look at him and he really does show a heavyweight. I mean, his boxing ability is, in my opinion, like I said, is better than Wilder's. I really do think his boxing ability is way better than Deontay Wilder's. He did take AJ 7 to 8 rounds. He was the first person to do that after Dillian White. He did give AJ a few problems. He was brave in there. Unfortunately, got stopped anyway in his regards. But still showed us, real toughness, and that he can be in there with the best. And I really think if he comes in prepared, 110% mentally, but if he uses his physical ability, his boxing ability properly, and doesn't lose his focus in the fight, this could be a very dangerous fight for Deontay Wilder. I mean, and I say the boxing ability, we saw the video of Deontay Wilder with them cones, when he was dodging the cones and his footwork was just all over the place. So when you come against someone like Dominic Breazeale, who will stand there and throw shots and trade with power, he's a big man, 6'9". See, the other hand with Fury was he's more boxing gifted. He will move, he'll tap you, he'll keep you frustrated all night. But I think Dominic Breazeale will come to war, and like the times we've seen Wilder exposed is the time with Molina when he rocked him, the time with Ortiz when he rocked him, and Fury outboxing him. This is another man, a big 6'9" heavyweight, who is probably at his prime-ish time now. He's reached at 33 years old. He's still, he's not old, but he's not young, but he's there. The power's there, the ability's there. He could really beat Deontay Wilder, and I think people are underlooking Dominic Breazeale in this fight. However, I am very excited for tomorrow night. The more I think about it, the more I get excited because I do really add up all these things that I've just been talking about, the skill that Dominic Breazeale has and the problems he can cause, or is it just going to be another Deontay Wilder knockout show to add to his highlight reel? Let us know, drop a comment and let us know what you think of the fight, what you think of Deontay Wilder's comment, what you think of Dominic Breazeale as a fighter, and give us your predictions for the fight. Make sure to stay subscribed to the channel for all the latest content, and we will catch you guys soon.
Hey fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else